Dude, I think I'm ready too, but I'm kind of bummed out.
What happened?
Never mind. There was something in the beer fridge. I didn't have anything to drink.
Mm.
That'd have been a horrible way to start. Are we? Oh, I didn't hit to go live on Facebook. So now they got a reason to go over to the. Well, come on. There we go. Slow as hell. Oh, now I just got to. Back in the studio this week, Evan.
Back home.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I mean, you know what? I kind of enjoyed the hotel for a night, and then it was like, okay, I'm ready. I miss my dog.
I don't like hotels. I just
Uh,
it's not my place.
no,
You
it's
know, it's
lonely
like
as hell.
you don't know what to really touch, you know, or touch nothing, and it's boring. I get tired of trying to learn like a new TV how to work it, and then you usually can't find much to watch. You know, you end up watching some dumb reruns. You know, and like, forget this. I don't
Man,
like hotels. I
I,
don't want to be in them.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them. I'm gonna be in them for a little bit though. But yeah, I learned some stuff. I learned a lot of stuff. A
Good.
lot of information thrown at me at one time, and it's like, well, it's funny. The second week of the class was HVAC, and then I go in today, and I had to uh, do a compressor,
Okay.
an AC compressor. So, kind of worked out. Helped me out.
Cool. Very cool. Swap compressors, vacuum it down.
Yeah, and this machine. Oh my God, I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, I cussed enough on the way home.
I've never done it. I've had it done, and
It's a pain in the ass. It, it,
which go ahead.
it's just not a fun thing to do.
Really?
Yeah, it's oh, and it's part the machines that do it. It's like, man, there's got to be somebody that can come out with a better way of doing this shit.
I got lucky last year. Vicky's uncle was moving out east, and he'd been mechanic, boat mechanic mostly, but I don't know how he ended up with it. But and he gave me, I guess it's about half full, but a 30-pound bottle, probably half full of R12.
Oh my goodness.
Which for a while that stuff was going for like $30 a pound.
Yeah, that
And,
stuff's
and
almost impossible to get.
yeah, it's very tough. You have to have a license to buy it most places. What else? So yeah, my old card, but it doesn't need charge, but it takes 4 pounds, and so I know I've got backup if I ever need it for the oldies. I'm like, that's pretty cool that somebody gave me a cylinder. I should weigh it, see how much I got, but it feels about half full.
Yeah, you can do you a couple old school.
But at $30 a pound, I'll take 15 pounds. Hell yeah.
Yeah, R12 is the one the EPA they kind of wagged their finger on.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't know that anything is really bad. They used to say that it was creating the hole in the ozone layer, and then I heard that really it was because DuPont had the patent on it and it ran out, and basically anybody can manufacture it cheap. So you create a false, hysteria about it, and say, hey, we have this new improved refrigerant, 134A, which is really not any better.
No.
But it's a way to start, the bend over process again, through. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe R12 is really causing problems, but I don't think so.
I know.
Because what they use in homes is pretty similar to R12, or did for a long time.
I would like to tell anybody watching live or watching the replay. It is show one. What I say, Evan?
What?
157.
Correct.
Okay. And this is the AlfromDtown&Chili442 Show. Chili is not on a deserted island somewhere. And I know you're going to hear birds chirping. He's got some chickens up in the studio.
Yeah. I got some chickens in my garage.
He's kind of a weirdo.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be so noisy, and kind of forgot about it. But we moved them out to we had them like in the living room, but their pens are too much. They've gotten too big, so we needed a space for them. So yeah, we got 2 little pens of chickens out my garage. But if they go through before bedtime, they get a little vocal, and then they usually chill out.
Yeah. Well, probably hearing your voice too.
Well, Vicky just brought them out some food, so they're probably like having chow down. They're having scrambled eggs and some sauerkraut, some other goodies.
Oh man, all those scrambled eggs and sauerkraut.
It's a good thing chickens don't fart. It'd be pretty bad.
Oh man.
At least I don't know that they do or not.
Yeah, you're getting ready to find out, homie.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, last week I was up at school, and man, I got my brain it was mush, but in a good way.
Classroom is a hard way to learn stuff. It's so many hours like that. Your brain only remembers the very beginning of what you start to learn, and then like the very end.
Yeah.
The middle gets mushy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why you have to break up. Okay, let's take breaks. Let's take breaks. There's reasons for that, but it's hard to take in that whole information. Learn the crash course of brain surgery. So to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand why they do it that way, because I mean, a lot of it's going to be hands-on, and it's going to hit me. Oh, okay. That's right. That's what I need to do. So, and it did. I mean, there was, I went fishing yesterday afternoon, during a bunch of storms. Dude, I got caught in this rainstorm, and I'm across the lake. I walked all the way around. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this damn cloud. And then it just kind of, I don't know. I don't think it followed me, but it knew exactly where I was going. And I know you're not supposed to stand by trees and shit, but where was I supposed to go? Because if I walked back to the truck, it would have put me up on a ridge line.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to be on that ridge line. So, and I wasn't going to walk, the only way not to walk on the ridge line was walk the edge of the water. Well, I've seen lightning hit water. I don't want to be near that shit. So
yeah, I don't know what to tell you other than if you feel all of a sudden your hair and your whole body starts to stand up, I would just lay flat. I'd try to get myself as close to the earth, and hopefully it snaps to something else. That's what you're hoping.
Yeah, they say put your butt in there because that's the safest place to get hit by lightning is the butthole.
Whatever, dude.
I don't know if that is true or not, but I think I saw it on a movie. I think I saw that on a movie, man. So
safety first, yeah. I guess that's when we were kids. Never mind. I'm thinking of the disaster stuff. We get on the ground and you got your butt up in the air.
Yeah, somebody said the other day they thought quicksand was going to be a lot more prevalent in their life. Which, hey, there is quicksand. It's not really around here. It's more of a down south thing. But, yeah, that stuff's, that can get nasty. But we can get it here with, like, the mud and shit. Especially, like, on rivers and shit like that. See, I fish a lot of rivers. So, yeah, there's times where I've stepped and it looked like sand or whatever, and you just go down, and it's almost impossible to pull your leg back out because it's almost like a suction cup.
Yeah.
You pretty much got to just stop and not try pulling and just start digging around. And yeah, it kind of
Make,
sucks.
makes sense.
So
Never had that, you know, never been an issue in my life.
yeah, you don't
It
like
was
to.
pretty big in the 70s, though, all the cartoons
Oh
and
yeah,
TV shows and just, yeah, the crap we grew up on, the false fears.
but like I told him on that when he put that little meme or whatever, I was like, yeah, and I was like, every time I hear a tornado siren, I can't find one of them little wooden desks anywhere. I'm gonna die.
No doubt. I think another TV phobia fear is when cars get in a wreck or roll over that they explode.
Yeah, that or you can shoot one and it'll explode.
I think too many years of watching Chips and stuff like that.
Yeah, the A team.
Yeah, 18. Yeah. Damn, don't roll. If car rolls over, man, you get out from it before it explodes.
Yeah, just happened to. Man, we do got some weird news, Evan. There's one story I can't wait to get to. Oh, but I see where Trump's childhood home sells in New York City. Sells at steep discount after being overrun by feral cats.
Really?
Yeah.
His childhood home is right over. I can't imagine that. I figured it'd be a pretty posh estate still.
So when I was up north, we'll hold off on news for a minute because that kind of reminded me of what I wanted to talk about. So going up there, it rained. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all remember, but when I went to school in Columbus, when I was driving back, was during when that hurricane Helen or whatever ripped through Florida and came up the coast and hit like North Carolina real bad and everything. Well, that moved inland, like right over the Ohio Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like buckets of fucking rain, dude. And I've told this story. I'm sorry if you've heard it. Um, but I was driving on the highway and I'm doing like 70, and people are doing like 85, 90 miles an hour, semis including, just hauling ass. And it's on the interstate. And then all of a sudden I see a car, like off on the left hand side, almost in the median, and facing the way we were going. Or, I mean, facing the opposite way we
Mm-hmm.
were going. They hydroplaned. And I was like,
That's
dumbass.
fun.
I don't even make it 2 miles. I see two more cars off in the ditch. I was like, nope. I pulled off. I took like, the equivalent of 36 or something like that. 55 miles an hour, maybe 60. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, Sunday, it was raining. I was like, I'm not getting on that interstate. So I took 66 all the way up. I took it. Then we get done with class. It's thunderstorming. I'm like, son of a bitch. So it takes me on my GPS. I was like, avoid highways. It takes me through this fucking neighborhood. I'm not paying attention. And all of a sudden, I just look over to my right. And there's the biggest house I've ever freaking seen in my life. And I'm like, whoa. And I look, and then there's like a 12-foot gated community. So I was like, well, I can't get in that gate, but I decided to kind of try to do a loop. Man, you should have seen some of these houses, bro. Stupid money.
Uh-huh.
Stupid money.
Yeah, I've seen some of them up there.
Man, I guess I was in the Arlington Heights area.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so,
yeah, that's nice area. That's money area.
yeah. I saw a lot of nice cars. I saw Lambo. I saw
So that's around Wheaton, I think, around there.
Yeah, and that's not far from where my class and everything is. So the hotel I stayed in was a nice hotel. Um, it's a little older. It's a little dated, but it's still a nice hotel. And yeah, I had some good food up there. I loved it. Came back with some knowledge. I'm ready to get my HVAC SAE. So I've already signed up for that. Get that and do some damage.
Nice, very nice.
So
Cars these days, the systems, dual controls, and everything like that, and electronics. It's there's a lot going on in there. All those little servos and doors, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
good stuff.
Oh man. Um. Anyway, we'll jump back on some news. Uh, Albania man claims people think his new business venture is an escort agency.
Is it?
We're gonna find out, Evan. Uh, he's no, it's to help guys that can't get dates go on dates, Evan. That's all he's trying to do.
You're playing from the other side, but it's still the same game. Okay, I'll buy that.
Uh, but here's the thing. The difficult just got a little more complicated because when people keep mistaking your paranormal research society for a brothel, it's not a dating site, Evan. This guy is trying to do paranormal research and everybody keeps calling him to hook him up.
Paranormal research, huh?
Yeah. He might as well go with the brothel. He's going to make a lot more money. You're never going to catch a ghost. I mean, okay, you might catch some weird shit. Look, I've seen weird shit. I've heard weird shit. I heard a door open and close behind me in the house that I'm in right now. So I mean, I've seen some weird. I ain't gonna try to catch that shit because why? If there are
Yeah,
ghosts, fuck them. As long as they ain't, trying to fondle you or something when you're sleeping. Although,
I'm cool with that. Is that why I still wake up with morning wood after all these years?
maybe that's it. Getting a
Hey,
handsy. I'll take a handsy from a ghost.
why not?
Yeah. All right, Evan. Here's an idiot. Satanic leader attempts to hold black mass in Kansas State House. Sparks chaos and 4 arrested.
Yeah,
You know
keep
what?
keep keep the Satanism out of the state house.
Yeah. All of it is it. It's supposed to be. Free from religion.
Yeah,
I don't care what the fuck you believe, but come on, man, don't be an idiot. And look, I'm sorry, most of them say the people, and I've met a couple, trust me, that have been straight up devil worshippers. And man, those are the weirdest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. No offense, and don't try to use me for some human sacrifice. I'm old and it wouldn't be a good sacrifice.
yeah. If you don't buy into the whole religion thing, that's fine. But
Don't be stupid.
yeah, don't worship a deity like that. I don't know. Don't even play at that level. Why? But whatever. If you think you're cool.
Couple caught having sex on a grave in a historic local cemetery.
That's kind of disrespectful, but you know. Would
Listen,
you care if you were buried underneath there?
would I care
Yeah.
if I was dead? No,
Yeah.
it's not
You're
like I'm
buried
gonna
underneath
be.
there. Do you care if people are boning on top of your tombstone?
No,
All
but
right.
What kind of girl is gonna let you bone her in a fucking cemetery? You might want to upgrade your, you know.
Probably one of the Satanists you were just talking about.
Ah, could have been, could have been.
Freaky chicks, the goth girls, remember?
Oh yeah.
Went around the 90s and then came around again.
Okay, Evan. A trooper with a canine stopped to give a dog a rest break around 4 p.m. near the Wild Cow Prairie Cemetery off Interstate 75 down in Florida. We should have known. A trooper spotted a white Nissan parked in front of the cemetery with the windows down and no one in the immediate area. Other troopers who were also present observed a white male and a female at the rear of the cemetery engaged in on top of unknown grave 43.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Yep. Oh, man.
Makes sense to be a southern state. I don't think anybody's boning outside these days. Not in March.
Dude, hold on. Hold on. I think this is gonna... Boys and girls, we are gonna show you why you don't do... I think I know why she did it, Evan. Hold on, I'm gonna show you too and let you... I'm gonna let you guess, and I know it'll take a second, but... That's the female in question, Evan.
She doesn't look very happy.
No. And from the sores on her face, I am just going to guess there was some drug activity involved in that sexual. Because you just don't get up in the morning, hey, what do you want to do? Let's go bone in the cemetery.
I agree with that.
So that was something that, hey, I need some stuff, and she gave him some stuff for some stuff.
Yeah. I think you covered it. Everybody got the stuff they need.
Everybody got the stuff, and hopefully he wore protection, or he's going to get some other stuff that he's not aware of.
Yeah.
Check this out.
But, I doubt they have the same last name. Let's just put it that way.
I know you are big into the bagpiper scene, Evan.
Man, I'll tell you what. No, go ahead.
An Atlanta bagpiper died while scuba diving. All right.
Mistaken.
The skeletal remains of his missing son were found on his property after he died. Hank France had been missing for 4 years when his family found his skeletal remains in a treehouse on his father's property. Man, these are horrible parents. How old was this kid? Oh, 28 years old, I was going to say. They didn't think to check the tree house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they found the remains inside the tree house. He went missing 4 years ago. Wow.
Oh, far out.
So
he was a bagpiper?
He was an Atlanta bagpiper, Evan.
Man, I'm, I grew up in the Greek family and everything, but I'm actually a quarter Scottish also. Quarter Greek, quarter Scottish. We've never grew up there, but I don't know, some years back, we went to a couple festivals. I don't know, my sister's up in Chicago, and they have these bagpipe players, and finally I had to break it to my family. I'm like, I don't care if this is part of my heritage. I can't stand these fucking bagpipes. Like
yeah, they're annoying.
It's like somebody killing a cat. Really?
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's a horrible sounding instrument. I do not want to listen to it more than I ever have to. Maybe the beginning of that House of Pain song. I can handle that little that little. I can handle that little bit, because I really like that song. I like to jump around. Yeah, there's one other place, but yeah, I think there's a corn song that's got a little bit in there. But it's just,
Yeah.
please keep it away from me.
Evan, a babysitter in Kansas, found a troubling surprise after a child she was watching complained about there was a monster hiding. The babysitter found a man hiding under the child's bed after they attempted to show the children that there was nothing under there.
It's like every kid's nightmare came true.
Yeah, and then you can't tell that kid to shut the fuck up. He don't know what he's talking about anymore, which you should never really say to a kid, I guess. Hey, shut the fuck up.
No, but that's legit. How do you tell a kid, no, there's not some monster hanging underneath your bed. Nobody's hiding underneath your bed. Yeah, there is. That for the rest of that kid's life, whatever he says, his parents are going to take at face value.
The babysitter,
run with it.
when the man was discovered, there was a small disturbance. She came face to face with the male suspect. He pushed her and the child away. The following day, deputies spotted the man while they were in the area looking for the suspect. He ran after a short pursuit, and they caught him.
Wow. Poor kid.
Yeah. He was arrested and booked in the Barton County Jail on multiple charges, including aggravated kidnapping and child endangerment. He is being held on a $500,000 bond. Yeah, that's going to... It doesn't say how much or how old the kid was. Hopefully not too young where it's going to scar her,
Yeah, years of therapy.
I mean, that's going to fuck you up for a little bit. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Check this out, Evan. A 2,000-year-old statue is found abandoned in a garbage bag in Greece.
I'm sorry, what was in the garbage bag? I was coughing.
A marble statue of a woman believed to be more than 2,000 years old was found abandoned in a garbage bag near the Greek city of,
Thessalonica.
Okay, what Evan said. A resident discovered the 80-centimeter, 31 inches, headless statue beside their trash bin.
Wow, somebody threw that away.
Yeah.
2,000-year-old.
Probably thought, it doesn't have a head on it. Those are the best women.
That's pretty cool. Pretty wild. You never know.
Kermit the Frog.
Should have gone on the Antique Roadshow.
Yeah.
This is 2,000 years old. This is worth millions of dollars.
Yeah. Kermit the Frog gave a commencement speech at the University of Maryland to those people that just spent $200,000 on an education. There you go.
No kidding.
What do you think of this one, Evan? Spare human bodies to be grown in artificial wombs and can serve as meat.
Meat?
Yes. That's what it is saying, Evan.
Is this some Bill Gates grown meat stuff?
I don't think it's for eating. I think it's for, like, if you, like, maybe have a leg that's the muscle.
No, they put, like, organ.
Yeah.
For organ donation or growing, I can't think of. That's kind of scary. We take things a little too far.
Here's an example of what they would use them for. They could offer an ethical alternative to the way we currently use non-human animals for research and food. I like that. Providing meat and other products with no animal suffering or awareness.
Sounds good on the surface. It sounds scary though.
Yeah, it sounds real fucking scary that they're already making human. Because if we're just hearing it, trust me, they've got humans walking around in a warehouse somewhere.
Well, if they cloned the sheep, whatever, 30 years ago, 35 years ago, whenever they did Dolly, I mean, and they basically had that technology years ago. Think what? Yeah, I don't like to think. Never mind.
Researchers admit their plan poses endless ethical questions. You think? But stress the world of possibilities that could open up if spare bodies are developed. Man, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I see both sides.
If you could grow a little owl, that eventually you might need some lungs or a heart or a new kidney or.
If I had an extra owl in the, so could I sexually harass myself? What if I pat myself on the butt and say, "Good job today, Al, looking good"? See, I'd want mine programmed, though.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Okay. But I'd want to program mine so I could, like, send mine to work and nobody would know. Like, have my mannerism and everything and just kick ass at work, and then I go fishing all day.
Yeah, they come home, just shut them down, and you collect the check.
I like that. I like that
a
lot.
There's I lost the name of her in the movie. Geez, I talked about that a couple weeks ago. Where they cloned her.
I don't know. I'm not a big movie guy, so.
Just the Netflix one. She won an award for it. What is her name? She was married to Ashton Kutcher and come on, married to Ashton Kutcher and who's the other one? Jeez, I can't think his name either. He's
Mila Kunis?
No. Who's Ashton was married to before?
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah, that movie with Demi Moore where she kind of clones herself apart. A clone of her comes out of her and does her and they switch off week per week. This clone goes and does her thing, and then, it gets horrible. It's not worth watching, but the cloning and all this stuff. It's just. I started watching. There was a movie on Netflix. They cloned Tyrone. And I started to watch that, and it got weird real quick. And I'm like, I just don't need this.
Yeah, you don't need to dream about that shit.
Mm-mm.
Evan, you ready for our bozo criminal of the day?
What do you got?
Me and Evan, we like to end our news stories, our weird and wacky news from around the world, with our buddy Dave Moreland and the bozo criminal of the day. You can go and check out Dave yourself at www.bozocriminal.com. Anyway, Bozo Criminal comes today from where, Evan?
Florida.
Yes, where the police were called to a report of a trespasser at a shopping center. Upon arrival, they found Christopher Mason, 40, in a full Ronald McDonald's gear complete with a red and white striped shirt, a yellow vest, and pants. No red shoes were seen. However, as the cop approached, he said, "You look like a clown," to which our bozo replied, "No shit, I am a clown, stupid." He said, "Well, maybe you are, but you're trespassing." A body search turned up an orange replica gun
Ooh.
in a backpack, other clown outfits, and 10 red noses. The charges, however, are nothing to laugh about, Evan. Trespassing, a misdemeanor, and resisting officers with violence is a felony.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he pulled that orange gun out on him.
Ballsy. Man, McDonald's is done with Ronald McDonald's. I guess you could pick up some costumes dirt cheap these days, but
yeah,
they phased that out some years ago when like shit was getting weird with clowns. Remember that?
yeah. Evan, his last arrest was possession of drug paraphernalia after being arrested outside of where? A McDonald's, Evan.
No shit. He's got a
holding
a fixation.
Man, he's holding a grudge against Ronald, man. He's like, I'm going to give this guy a bad name. Nobody will ever want a cheeseburger from me.
I'll ruin you, Ronald. You give me cold fries.
Yeah, we already did that one. I thought they had another one, but oh man, that's too funny, man. Evan, I do got a. If you here a little bit of trivia, Evan. We'll go through a couple of these, see if you get a few right. Some of these are hard. If you open your eyes in a pitch black room, the color you'll see is called what?
Black.
It's I don't even know how fucking spell this. Eigengrau. Eigengrau. Eigengrau.
Got me.
So that's the color you see if you open your eyes. What is a group of owls called, Evan?
Oh, I heard this once. I couldn't tell you. This is one of those things I've slept since then.
Here, I'll give you a hint. English politics. English politics.
They got me.
Parliament.
Parliament?
Yeah. Or I should have said Fantastic Voyage. Coming right. I don't think Parliament did that. But
Coolio?
No.
I'm all over the place.
I don't even know. Geckos can't climb Teflon.
Too slick for them?
It's the only thing that geckos can't climb.
Oh, their little sticky feet won't stick
No.
even to Teflon. Well, it makes sense. That's what Teflon was made for, things not to stick to.
The Bahamas has a $3 bill, Evan.
Really? I got one right here.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
You see who's on that? I can't get any closer.
Who the hell is that? Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Where in the hell did you get a $3 bill with Bill Clinton on it?
I don't know. Yeah.
The word typewriter is entirely on the top row of a keyboard.
On a QWERTY keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, it sure the fuck is. Even on your... Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, you know how the QWERTY keyboard got its arrangement like that?
Nuh-uh.
The old typewriters. They when you hit the key, it had a little lever, and it, the thing came up, the stamp.
Oh, yeah,
whatever. Well, the common ones, the ones you use a lot, are all towards the center, and they put them that way because they would jam if the ones that you used a lot came from the outside, and the speed that some of these secretaries were getting into, it was so fast that so they had to make it so that the ones used the most were towards the center, and they wouldn't jam up, and so that meant that the keyboard just ended up, that's the way it ended up. The most common letters you use are right at your, and then it's all based off of that from there, and that's where the QWERTY keyboard came from, and it's stuck. But you had to do. They had to do something. The
Yeah.
speed. It was just the speed at which secretaries using typewriters. They had to change that.
Look at the big brain on Evan.
Yeah, worthless knowledge, man. Come here for it. Every Monday.
Oh, Evan, birds don't fart, but spiders do.
I've heard one of them African barking spiders, as people say.
Well, they say you eat a couple spiders every night when you sleep.
No, it's like one or two a year. That's gross.
I hope he's not farting on his way down.
That's why you wake up with bad breath.
Cows have best friends.
I can see that. Cows are more intelligent, we think.
Oh, this is kind of scary because some of these things can be assholes. There are more kangaroos in Australia than humans.
Really? Wow.
Doesn't say a ratio like 3-to-1. That'd be fucked up. Kangaroo just take over a city.
Okay, more kangaroos than humans. I've heard that if you weigh all the ants on the Earth, they outweigh all the humans.
Evan,
That's pretty cool.
there was a man caught speeding. Went by the name Walter Arnold. Evan, how fast was he going in 1896 to get the first recorded speeding ticket? I will give you a hint. It is under 10 miles an hour, Evan.
That's funny because I was going to say something like 12. What was it, like 7 miles an hour?
You're very close, Evan. It was 8.
Slow down.
Yeah, you talk about the Fast and the Furious. I wonder if he's getting
What
any
was this-
drift.
What was the speed limit in town? 5 miles an hour? And how did they even verify back then? They weren't shooting radar, that's for sure.
Evan,
That cop had to pace them.
Yeah, yeah. Evan, I think we had a story about this maybe a couple months ago. Koalas and humans have almost indistinguishable fingerprints to the point they can be confused. All those koala crimes, humans get all the blame. Tragic.
I could see it. Those little things get Steve, and they know a human will get blamed for it. They'll find somebody in the database close enough.
Man, that's really, man, I guess if
Right.
you want to get away with some crime, get you a gang of koala bears.
We're going to start fingerprinting all the koala bears. That's what we'll do. That sounds like our government, what they would do.
I don't know how true this is, and I'm gonna kind of do a research on the guy that or woman that wrote this. Gay penguins rescue abandoned eggs and raise the babies as their own.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How they know they're gay?
Really.
A T-Rex is closer in time to us than it is a Stegosaurus.
Okay, backing up with penguins mate for life. So maybe they both lost a spouse and they're just raising kids together.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gay. That's rude.
Yeah, they could be like, I don't know, My Two Dads or whatever that show
Exactly.
was. Yeah. Evan? What? And it was why we were alive. The first documented instant of the high five occurred during what year? I'll give you a hint. Jimmy Carter was president.
Carter?
I think so. Hold on. I better make sure.
Oh my gosh, I was going to say something like 92 or something. The first, what were we talking, like 78? Was Carter president? 70.
Yeah, he was president. You were damn close, Evan. 1977.
Okay.
I don't buy that at all. I think some Roman soldier came out from getting a little hock tooey and high-fived his Roman homie. I do not think the first high five came in 1977. I think that is bullshit. I think cavemen were like, oh, yeah, we fucked that woolly mammoth up. High five. Put it up
Yeah.
top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Right.
buying. Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
Caveman right after he invented the wheel. He got some
Right.
booty for it. You know?
What do you
Yeah.
think they did? A baby cabbage patch? No, they, high five.
Mm-hmm.
The
With you.
largest edible fruit native to North America is the pawpaw. Never heard of it.
Largest fruit?
Yeah, it looks disgusting. I don't know
How
what's.
big is?
It looks like it fits in his hand. Almost looks like an avocado, but it's like orange in the middle. Pawpaw is what it's called. Pawpaw. Pawpaw.
Hmm.
The average cloud weighs about 1.1 million pounds. How the fuck?
How you can dispute that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I weighed a cloud the other day, and it was.
Well, let me see how many gallons that is. I don't know. Yeah.
The banana tree is not a tree. In fact, it's the world's largest herb.
Really?
Evan, I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh, I know, but they would lie to you.
Yeah, that's true, and I think they did with that high five one.
See? It's an herb, huh? The banana tree, which is not a tree. Or the banana herb.
Our current 50-star flag was designed as part of a high school project by a 17-year-old Robert Heft. His teacher gave him a B-.
Wow. Little did they know.
Yeah. Boston is home to the country's worst drivers. Okay, hold on. Female population in Boston.
Uh-oh, you're going to get in trouble.
Must be all chicks there. A sexist would say. Not me, though. Nobody would.
Champaign, Illinois. Oh,
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody would see you get sucked into a black hole. To them, you would just stop at the event horizon and proceed to become more and more red-shifted until you disappeared.
What happened to Dave? He got sucked into a black hole.
Yeah.
How do you know? Well, he kind of turned red and kind of, what did they say?
Red-shifted.
And where did they come up with this?
I don't know. Where you pay taxpayer dollars to fund scientists to do stupid shit like this.
I think that might stop. We'll see.
I hope. Some New York apartments are more expensive than castles.
Well, I could see that. Some of the tiny apartments, what they go for, that are like 20 square feet. Have you seen some of these 50 square feet apartments? It's not.
Yeah, and they're nothing. They're like what do you call those? An efficiency or whatever.
Yeah, they're not even that.
Evan, the only endorsement Elvis Presley ever did was for a donut shop.
Really?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
I guess that was before celebrities started, pimping everything on the side.
In World War II, the British trained seagulls to poo on enemy periscopes before realizing that seagulls could not fly far enough out to sea for this to be useful.
That's a damn good plan, though.
It is. And who knew seagulls couldn't fucking fly?
I could just see something like, "Hey, boss, I got something really simple. All we need to do is just shit on their periscope, and they won't be able to see what's going on over here." Like, that's so simple. It's brilliant. I love it.
Women blink more often than men. 19 versus 11 blinks per minute. I think that depends on the person.
Yeah.
And yet again, another stupid study that we did not need. Why do we need to know how many times somebody blinks?
I don't know. How many? What was their? Can you imagine that was your job? Just bring in people every day, like, okay, we're gonna monitor you, but you can't tell you what we're gonna do, and that's what you do. Hundreds of people a day just study them.
Check this out. In 1963, Evan, Major League Baseball pitcher Gaylord Perry remarked, "They'll put a man on the moon before I hit a home run." On July 20th, 1969, an hour after Neil Armstrong set foot on the surface of the moon, Perry hit his first and only home run while playing for the San Francisco Giants.
No, he was right, and he's still right.
Yeah.
He is still right to this day.
Yeah.
Damn near put my life on it. Anyway, that's funny.
Goofy of the Walt Disney World, his original name was Dippy Dog.
It's not any worse name than P. Diddy, whatever the hell that is. Dippy Dog, huh?
Yeah, Diddy Dog. Beavers potty train their young, and sometimes after they move out of their parents' basement, the parents will come downstream and help the youngsters build the dam so that he can attract a mate.
Nice.
They're like, we don't want that fuck coming back home. We better go help.
So that's what the females are all about, hooking up. But you got yourself a dam? You get yourself a dam, and you come see me. Yeah, if you don't have a dam, then, well.
Maybe not entirely useless. I might have to send Brad Hurst this, but the plural of cul-de-sac is coles-de-sac.
Ooh.
You just put an S right after the cul. Coles-de-sac.
Well, that's a new one.
But why would you need that? If because you will never go into two cul-de-sacs at the same time. Never. It's impossible. It's only one. There's one way in, and you come out the same way. It's a cul-de-sac.
Where do you live? Is it that neighborhood with a bunch of cul-de-sac? Whatever, dude. Yeah. Interesting.
You have to eat around what the fuck? You have to eat 1,888,000 pieces of paper to reach your daily 2,000 calories.
There's not that many calories in paper?
No, I guess not, Evan.
Who comes up with this? Okay. But there obviously are some calories, because if you ate enough paper, then you would reach your daily limit.
Bees generate electricity because their wing flapping is so fast they can use this to tell if a flower has been landed on by another bee already due to its electrical charge.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Bees are fascinating.
Humans and bananas share roughly 60% of their DNA.
Bananas?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not too far from like a squid or jellyfish. It's interesting, isn't it?
I'd like to know if this is actually true. WD-40 is named only because WD-1 through 39 were failures.
No, they got it on the 40th try. They were the solution.
Is that what?
I guess
The
I guess
first 39
39.
trials of the item were complete failures. So that's where they got the name.
Yeah, it was a space system. They were trying to get something to clean electrical contacts that got like moisture on them, and they were trying to come up with a solution. And I think it's like seven. People say it's fish oil. As it, I don't know what kind of lubricant in there, but most of it's like naphtha, 70% naphtha, and but anyway, yeah, they got on the 40th try. The WD stands for water displacement. They
Right,
said they were
right.
trying to clean up electrical contacts, and that's what they came up with. And it's really not a lubricant; it's a kind of a solvent, but
Yeah.
it kind of lubes in a way.
Yeah. I've
Cool
used it for
stuff.
lubrication quite a bit.
Oh, door hinges and all that
Oh,
jazz.
yeah.
And,
Door hinges, WD is the go to.
mm-hmm.
Otters have a little pocket that they like to keep their favorite pebbles in when one catches their eye.
Really?
Yeah, so hey, I got a neighbor that has a farm down in Missouri. He's got a pond on it and everything. Well, he stocked this thing with like 150 catfish. He wanted just a place where he could take the grandkids and they'd catch a big fish and be happy. Well, he was feeding them. Well, all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, he noticed these, when you throw out the pellets, they'd all kind of come to the top. Fewer and fewer started coming to the top. He's like, man, what's going on? Come to find out, there was a family of otters, and they ate 150 catfish, dude. So now he says he's got a pond with some otters in it.
Otters
Yeah.
in Missouri? Really?
He just
Huh.
told. That's funny. He just told me that story yesterday.
That's funny. I've got a friend that put in a pond last year and stocked it with fish, and I'll have to tell him to be on the lookout for some otter.
Yeah, they love fish, man. Giraffes and humans have the same number of neck bones, Evan.
Really?
Yeah. So there you go, guys.
That's hard to believe. Because of their neck and all.
Yeah, the bones have got to be bigger. They've got. I mean, they've. Of course.
Spaced out. Or at least spaced out.
Man, Evan, we're about ready to call it a night. It was a
Oh shoot.
fun show, but I do want to do one thing. What? Okay, here we go, Evan. Your question of the day. I kind of like this one. What is the most interesting vehicle you have ever traveled in? Oh, man.
I've driven a Lamborghini. I've ridden a Model T. I rode in a 797 mining truck in Wyoming,
Ooh.
which most people
that's a
would
big
never
one.
ever see a 797.
No.
Most people, you're lucky to see pieces of them on a flatbed on a highway because I mean they're assembled with cranes.
Yeah, they're usually assembled on site, ain't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're assembled with cranes, and the bed comes in three pieces and it's welded together on site, and they position everything with cranes. I don't know how they fixture them, but I've never seen one put together. But they're some dealers will have giant warehouses where they can get them inside. But yeah, these things are like houses going down the street. You're talking about a bed at the time. They said it had the capacity to hold 97 Ford Explorers.
Oh, my God.
They were rated 360 ton, and I think by then the original ones, and I don't know what I was in, what model, like AB, whatever. They later beefed them to 400 ton capacity. So anyway, yeah, when the tires are 13 and a half feet tall, to get to ride one into one of those down into a mine, not like it was a surface mine, not underground.
Right,
But
right.
and they wouldn't let me drive one, of course. I was lucky to be in a mine because it was one of those things that happened real quick, and I didn't even have like all the mine training and a license. You
Oh
have to have a
yeah.
license and all
Oh
training just to
yeah.
go to a mine.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to go through mine safety course, and so anyway, I got to ride in a 797. I would say that's probably about the coolest thing because, like I said, most people never see one, let alone get to ride in one.
I got to ride on if you've ever seen one, it's one of the like jet boats that go they it's got the black um bottom that it's an airboat is what it
Mm-hmm.
is, but this one could go on land and so
Swamp boat kind of.
yeah, and to me that was pretty cool. And then my buddy had one that had six wheels that looked like a fucking ATV, and you could drive this thing right into the water, and that was cool as shit. We had a lot of fun in that.
I can't remember what those are called, but yeah, those are neat.
Yeah, so yeah, something like that where you can go from one thing, land to water. I kind of thought that was badass. But anyway, Evan, it's 9 o'clock. Let's get out of here before we bore these people.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. Another Monday night. We'll be back next Monday. I hope they entertain you again.
Yeah, man. I go back to school, but we know that I can. Man, it didn't. I fit everything pretty much in a bag and just set it right up, and yeah, it was kind of fun. And now I know I got a good internet up there, so we won't miss
Rock
any
on.
shows. But now I guess this next class I got's a bitch, so we'll see.
Are you going back next week?
No, not till May, so
Oh, okay.
it won't be till May. So anyway, gang, we love you. Peace. Be good to one another. And hey, man, if you like the show, just share show, share the page, do what you can do. Help a couple brothers out. We trying to get them things that ride on water and the land.
Yeah.
Peace, guys. We love you.
Later.